Hi everyone, so in this lecture we're going to talk about what TOEFL is. So we'll go over what the test is about, what it's used for, we'll explain its content and structure of the test, and lastly we'll go over the scoring system of the TOEFL test. Now if you're already familiar with the TOEFL test, then please feel free to skip this lecture, but if you're not entirely sure, then do stick around as knowing about the test is very important. Okay, so what is TOEFL test? TOEFL stands for Test of English as a Foreign Language. So TOEFL test is an English language proficiency test, meaning that its aim is to evaluate the test taker's English language skills. TOEFL is created by ETS, an American testing and assessment organization. ETS also develops various tests for higher education in the US, such as SAT and GRE, and they also create TOEIC, which is another kind of English proficiency test. TOEFL is also commonly known as TOEFL IBT, and IBT stands for Internet-Based Test, and that's what TOEFL is. It's an Internet-based test, meaning that the test is conducted completely on a computer. Now, what is the TOEFL test used for? The TOEFL test is mainly used by higher educational institutions such as universities and colleges in English-speaking countries, although it's also used in many other countries, to determine whether an international applicant has the necessary language skills to enroll in their educational program. So if you are a student from a non-English speaking country and you want to go to a college in the US, for example, the college in the US will set a certain TOEFL score that you have to attain to enroll on the program. For example, you may be required to attain a score of 90 in the TOEFL test and get a minimum of 23 in the reading, 23 in listening, 22 in speaking, and 22 in writing. Now, there are also other uses of the TOEFL test. For example, to apply for a certain visa in an English-speaking country, you may be required to submit a TOEFL score. However, the main use of the TOEFL score is for educational purposes. And the content of the TOEFL test reflects this main use of the test, because the TOEFL test covers two key aspects of a student life at a university: academic subjects and campus life. So the main content of the TOEFL test is academic subjects. So whether it's the reading, listening, speaking, or writing, the topic, the language, and the structure of the passages are all related to academic English. Additionally, your speaking and writing responses should also relate to features of academic English. We will discuss what academic English is in more detail later. Now, the second part is campus life, and this relates to language used around college campuses, such as when you talk to professors, university administrators, and any language used to talk about university policies. Language related to campus life is not tested in all sections of the TOEFL test, and it's only tested in listening and speaking section. Okay, so how is the TOEFL test structured? The TOEFL test consists of 4 sections, and they are reading, listening, speaking, and writing. And after the listening section, there is a 10-minute break before you move on to the speaking section. The reading section can take between 54 and 72 minutes, the listening 41 and 57 minutes, the speaking section is the shortest, about 17 minutes, and the writing section takes about 50 minutes. In total, including the break time, the test should take a little over 3 hours to complete. Now, in terms of the specific content for each section, such as the number of passages in the reading section and the types of speaking tasks, we will discuss these details later as we go through each section of the test in detail. Finally, let's talk about the TOEFL score. The maximum score you can get in each section is 30, so the maximum total score is 120. And as I mentioned earlier, different colleges and also different departments will require to get different scores for college admission. So one school might require you to get 85 total with specific requirements in each section, while another school might require you to get 80 total with specific requirements in each section of the test. And in the past, you had to attain these scores in a single test. However, in 2019, TOEFL introduced a new set of scores called My Best Scores, also known as SuperScore. And this basically allows you to use the highest score you attain in each section from different tests you have taken in the previous 2 years. So if you took the test 3 times in a 2-year period and your best score in different sections is achieved in different tests, My Best Score allows you to use your best scores from different tests and add these scores to form your best total score. However, do keep in mind that not every college accepts My Best Score. And in many universities, different departments have different requirements. So in the same university, one department may accept My Best Score, while another department may not. So do check whether the school and the department you're applying for will accept My Best Score as the score for your TOEFL test. Okay, so that's it for this lecture on what the TOEFL test is about. And in the next lecture, we will discuss the new TOEFL test, which can be taken at home. See you then. Bye-bye.